Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just introducing intro. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning. I'm just gonna wait to get myself together here and just wait to see who's gonna pop in this morning. Today is good morning, Doris. Today is September the 24th. This month has is just zooming by. It is just zooming by, trying to get out. It is trying to get out. It is September the 24th, 2024. It is Tuesday morning, 7:01 Tuesday morning. And here in the fair city of where I live in the state of Florida, it is 78 degrees right now. Says it feels like it's going to be 103 with humidity. The humidity is going to make it dry and it's going to be very humid today. But you know what? I still feel fall is in the air. It's going to get time to pull out those sweaters. Oh, I just love it. It gets, cool enough for a sweater sometime, and it may get cold enough for a jacket for I give it like a good 3, 4 days, and then it'll taper off. Right now, there's a tropical storm slash hurricane that's looming out there in the Gulf of Mexico. And I hope it fizzles. I hope it fizzles out to be look like a little drizzles and stuff like that. That everybody all the states involved, from the top of Florida to the middle to central Florida, about in the Orlando, Tampa area, seem like, but more up in the panhandles and near maybe some of Louisiana, maybe some of Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Well, hopefully, it'll fizzle out and it won't get to be nothing more than just a fizzle and little drizzle and, not a big tropical storm. But if the water now is beginning to cool down, so the air is still kind of humid a little bit. So with the hot and the cold mixing together, something always happens. Something always happens. Anyway, it looks like it's going to be the start of a beautiful day as I see, I can see where the sun is rising because I see the oranges. You can see like a little orange and a little white and we maybe have a little overcast today, a tiny bit of gray, but I see a lot of white and I see a lot of blue. So the sun is beginning to rise this morning, and it looked like it's going to be a beautiful, sunrise. And sometimes I'm glad I live near the water with the sunrises in the morning, and when the sun is setting, when the sun is going down. Oh, that is a beautiful sight to behold. It is a beautiful sight to behold, especially in the fall for me. And when I go out on my balcony, sometimes on the end of the hall on the balcony, you can see the sun setting. And I could just sit in my window and watch the sun rise. So um, it's beautiful both ways. So that's what we're expecting here this morning. And Dallas is like that too. Yeah, so that's what we're expecting, today. Maybe we'll probably get some rain. But it's saying that it's a tropical storm slash that can turn into that may that could turn into um a hurricane. Prayerfully and hopefully that is not what's getting ready to happen, because I hope that's not. Anyway, I should just get to the store to get some water, get more water. Um, it's best to be prepared for things like this. sometimes you don't even know how to prepare for hurricanes, and you just do the best you can, and you pray that God see you through. That's all, that's all we can do. So that's the weather forecast for today in Florida. It is 78 degrees as of now. It's humid. So if you walk out the door, the humidity is going to knock you out. So just moisturize and, drink your water. All that makeup on right now in Florida is not a good thing. You know, it's not a good thing right now. I've learned how to start wearing the foundation, and it's almost just as worse moisturizing because you feel like your face, it's just not a good feel. But anyway, that's just me. I digress. So this morning, I've been thinking about some stuff because I have an issue that has presented itself. And talking about it out loud. I was thinking about that this morning. Talking about it out loud, I could hear myself. Um, I could hear myself, and I could hear what's going on, and I could hear, myself when I'm talking to God, when I'm praying to God and seeking at God wisdom and seeking out the advice of God before I get into a panic, before I start, worrying and start doubting and, well, start feeling sorry for myself and stuff like that. So I have been talking about Monday. Monday, I was talking about adversity, the freedom of letting go. My readings over the weekend started. There's always a new week. It starts a new week with the subject, like going through trials, and when you're going through trials, and how God provides for us, even in adversity, when we're going through things, God is still there with us, and God is still providing for us. We're going to have trials and tribulations because we are followers of Christ. That does not mean that we're not going to go through something. But what it means is while we're going through it, everything is going to be all right. Sometimes with the physical eye, it don't look right. It don't look like it's going to be all right. And mentally, mentally, it's like, man, when is this going to end? So we have to stop looking at things in the physical and start looking at things in the spiritual. And when we start looking at things in the spiritual, mentally, that's when we become better people. When we look at things in the mental and the spiritual. And I have to when I think about these things, I say it out loud. So, and what it means is, you going through trials. You got things going on. That situation. I'm talking about myself. Got a situation going on. Really don't know how to handle the situation. Really don't even know what to do about the situation. I really don't. And when I got word about it, the first thing for some reason because I had already had a conversation about it, and it didn't go as I planned for it to go. Nevertheless, it was still there, and I knew I had to do something. So now, oh, excuse me. Now I know I really have to do, and I have a time limit into what it is that I have to do. So this is my trial. This is something that I got to go through. And I honestly don't know how, I don't know how I'm going to do what it is that I need to do. But you know what? I'm a trust in God. I really am. I'm going to trust in God because I can't get on here, you know, uh, every morning, Monday through Friday, saying stuff to people about trust God, believe in God, and professing to be Christ like, professing to be a follower of Christ, and don't tell you. Don't make you have people thinking that, oh, everything is good and in my world, and I don't get scared. I don't doubt God, and that's a lie. That's a lie. And I was thinking about that this morning. I said, Lord, I have to be honest with these people. I got to let them know right now I have a situation. I'm going through something right now. However, is how I'm gonna get through this. How I'm going through it is going to make the difference how I get through it. And I made up my mind. I took a drastic step the other morning, early Sunday morning. I took a very drastic step. That was the hardest. The hardest thing about anything that you're trying to do is just getting started. The letting go. You got to admit that you got a problem. You got to admit that there is a problem, that you have a problem. You got to admit it, whether it be a bill, something that you done got yourself into, or something that just popped up, and it does not matter. You got to acknowledge it. You got to acknowledge it. And when you acknowledge it, that's the first part. That's the first step. That's when you um That's how it is in AA. That's the first part of the steps. Admitting, admitting that there is a problem. And I say, well, Lord, there is a problem. There is a problem. I have two choices. There's only two choices. I can worry about it. I could be doubtful. I could keep questioning myself. I could keep questioning God. Or take it to God in prayer. Tell God exactly what it is. Tell God exactly what I need. Believe what I'm saying to God and believe that I'm going to receive what I am asking for, asking from God. Surrender the thoughts, and I'm going to get into that this morning. Let go of the doubt, let go of the unsureness. Okay, just make a decision. Okay, Lord, I am going to trust you with everything I got, because I keep saying, um, you're the way, the truth, and the life. That's what words say. And words say you ain't a way, you are the way, and the way has already been made. And I just got to walk therefore in. So, and I'm trusting that. And it seems like it's gonna, it's my birthday is next month. And I have a feeling that change. I can feel the change in the air. I really can feel the change in the air. And I feel like, the rest of my life is going to be the best part of my life. And this birthday here is like, it's going to, Lord willing, this birthday here feels like this is this is going to be it. This is going to be that blessing that is right around the corner. This is going to be the bless that's going to knock me off my feet. It's going to be the blessing of all blessings. I don't know what it is, but it's just a feeling that I have that God is getting ready to do something so awesome in my life that I'm not going to have room enough to receive it. And I don't mind giving some of it away. I really don't mind, giving some of it away. So and the reading for yesterday was the freedom of letting go. And when you let it, Eve, you have to let go of fear. You have to let go of doubt. Not only fear and doubt, you have to let go of the resentment, let go of the attitude, let go of all the evilness and all the vindictiveness and all of those negative things. You just have to give up all the negativity, and be obedient, especially when you're asking God for something. And we all are not God's children. God know his children, and his children know him. And sometimes we get disobedient. We get so disobedient. We ask God for something. And then when God said, okay, you got to let that go to get this, you ask me for this, and it's waiting for you. It's waiting for you. But you got to let go before you can receive it. You got to let go of what's in that hand. You got to let go of what's in that left hand to get what's in this right hand. Because the left hand is it is holding on to to something for dear life that don't mean you no good, that you know it ain't no good, but I just want it. I just got to have it. And for whatever else reason that you think you need it, you're holding on, but what you not ask God for and what God is getting ready to bless you, but that you're hindering the blessing by holding on. And when you let go of whatever it is and your hand is open, but it's that meantime, in the meantime moment, while you holding on to whatever it is that you need to go, you're holding on to a hurt, somebody that hurt you, whether it be in the church, whether it be in the family, maybe a friend, your husband, whoever your significant other, one of your children have hurt you, and you just holding on to that. You're functioning and you're doing good, and you're praying God may let everything be all right. And the things that you're asking God for, the blessings are being hindered because you're holding on. You won't let go of the anger. You won't let go of what they did. So you hold on to it and you can't receive what's waiting for you. The blessings are being hindered. And its blessings are not only material things. You hang on to and it can be material things. You hang on to I had an orange dress, a burnt orange dress. It was a line dress and it fit me perfectly. And the style of the dress, I just love that dress. You know, the way it was made at the top, it my not my breast didn't really show. It was just like the top of my shoulders, and it was just the way the dress was made, the way the dress fitted, and it was the perfect length. It was right below my knees, and I love a dress that's below or the middle part is so something so elegant and so ladylike about that, a dress that's made that length. And I had the perfect shoes. I had the new colored shoes or light beige shoes, like ankle shoes. And those, oh my God, that was the perfect outfit. Whenever I wore that dress, I just felt so regal and so ladylike. But then I began to lose weight. I mean, gain weight. So I knew when the dress got like in the middle part of my knee and then it got like a little above my knee, it was time to lose weight because the dress wasn't fitting like it used to fit. So I would hold that dress, I would let that dress be my focal point. Every time I gained weight, I would let that dress be my focal point. It was time to lose weight if I wanted to get in this dress. Good morning, Mildred. And for some reason my weight would fluctuate. It would just fluctuate because I was thinking about, oh, it's something that I need to do. I want to wear this dress. So I lose a couple of inches, a couple of pounds and stuff like that. So I had noticed I could not, the dress was above my knee now. So I said, oh man. And I just let the dress just stare at me every time I walked into the closet. The dress was just staring at me. And it just got to the point that I said, you know what? You really need to, get rid of that dress because you're not going to fit back in that dress properly because you're not doing the things that you need to do to get back into the dress. And I'm telling you, I really love the dress. And I knew at some point I was going to have to get that dress up. So, it was unwillingly at first, but then when I came to myself, I said, you know what? Just get a dress up, Maritha. Just give the dress up. And by giving up that dress, and being honest with myself, you got to go a size. higher at. Not sweetie, because you're not doing what you're doing. It you're at an age now that metabolism is not as fast as it should be. However, talking about letting go, even though I'm a Christian, even though I'm following Christ, I'm still going through something. And this morning in my reading, it was saying it's the rewards of letting go. The rewards of letting go. And the scripture comes from Genesis 22 verses 1, you know, through 3, the rewards of, giving up. And I read it in both of my books this morning. I read it in the NIV Standard Bible, and I read it in the King James Version. And the wording is different. And I love the King James wording in the Bible because it makes you think, and it it do sparks a little fear sometime in of um the wording of how things are in the Bible. It's like your mama talking to you when she strikes a little bit of fear in your heart and stuff. And it's talking about the stories of Abraham. That's what it was talking about. The story. That's where it comes from Genesis 22. Just trying to get there. Genesis 22 verses 1 through 3. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abraham, and said unto him, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, take now thy son, thy only son, who thou lovest, and get thee into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountains, which I will tell thee of. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son, cleaved the wood for the burnt offering, and rose up and went into the place which God had told him. He was obedient. And what Abraham did, what Abraham was, 'cause Abraham, what he did was obey God, and what he was doing was obeying God. He didn't question God. He didn't really question God, nor did he try to understand why God was telling him to do this. He was just being obedient and doing what it is that God was requiring him to do. Um, and took Isaac, his son, up in the mountain and placed him, getting ready to place him. However, God had a ram in the bush, and that's what happens when we decide to take charge of ourselves, and let go. Nobody can make us do that. Nobody can force us to do it. Not even God. God is a free will God. And why I'm telling y'all this, I'm telling it to myself. God is a free will God. And he is not going to overstep his boundaries. However, when you say, I am a child of God, there are things that you have no authority nor control over anymore. You can be stubborn and hold on to it, or you could be obedient and let it go and get the rewards and the blessing that God and the promises of God. And but however, the choice is yours. And so this morning I was thinking about this little thing I get, the issue that I'm going to call it a little issue I have going on, because I'm gonna make this issue small, and I'm gonna make my God big. I'm taking charge of my thoughts, and that's what First Corinthians, it tells us to do. Take charge of pull down all those thoughts. And Second Corinthians verses 1 through 5. But the main verse, it says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalt itself against the knowledge of God, and bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. I mean, bring whatever, and I say, okay, Lord, I'm bringing this to you. Because I'm getting ready to throw this. I'm getting ready to like start going crazy. If I do this, Lord, probably if they say no, Lord, what am I gonna do? Oh Lord, what is I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? But then I'm sitting and I'm thinking, and I'm saying, okay, I got the choice. I could panic about this, but how can I tell these people about trusting in God, believing that God can do and will do just what He said if I ain't doing it? And I'm telling them to do it. Am I making myself a hypocrite? Am I making myself a liar? Because I'm telling them and I'm not believing that you can really do what I'm saying, that telling them that you can do. So this morning I said, you know what? I have a choice. And I said, I'm going to do it the way that God would have for me to do it. I'm really letting it go. I'm casting it down. I brought that thought into submission, and I'm casting it down. I'm giving to God and tell God what it is. And I made the choice what I feel is the best choice to face it head on, to let go of the fear, to let go of the doubt, to let go of the what if it don't work out. But however, what if I'm depending on God? It ain't no what if. It's going to work out the way that God will have it work out. And the way God will have it work out is going to be the best way for it to be. And I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay with that. Whatever choice that I have to do, whatever I have to do about this situation, that's what I got to do, because I'm not going to stress. I don't want to stress about it. I don't want to be worried about it. I don't want to be trying to figure it out, because I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to worry about it, nor do I have to stress about it, because the way has already been made to what is going to be done about it. And that's why where I am. And that's what just got to let go of stuff. You got to stop being angry about something somebody did to you 5, 10 years ago. Sometimes it could be so dramatic that you consciously just constantly hold on to that, and it messes up. It's in your relationship because it's still in you, and it can destroy relationships, and you don't understand, well, why am I like this? Because childhood trauma brings a lot of drama in your adult life, because it's things you haven't dealt with. When you start dealing with, what happened to you at 12, 18, 13, 10, 9, however the age is, and you didn't feel like you have no charge over it then. You have charge over it now. You deal with it so it don't destroy you and keep dealing with you. Deal with it. Take charge of it. Don't walk away from it. Walk into it. And walking into it, you saying a prayer. You got a prayer and a hope. Don't lose hope. Just keep praying about it. No matter how long it takes, just keep praying about it. It's not that God don't see you. It's not that God don't hear you. God seeing, He's an all-seeing God. He's an all-hearing God. And if He could be at everywhere at the same time, He could be everywhere at the same time. He know what you're feeling. He know what you're thinking. He know the situation. He just waiting for me to come and tell him about it. Not tell him how I'm going to work it out, but ask him to work it out for me. Go to him honestly, humbly, but boldly. You got to go to get God being scared. Like you going to your mama, finna go and tell your mama you didn't like something or you done did something. You got to boldly go to God to be honest, be truthful. And that's what I did this morning. I surrendered my will. I surrendered my will because I wanted His will to be done. And in my morning reading, it was just so what it just hit me this morning about what it is that I have to do about this situation. And then I said my prayers this morning. I called out my friends this morning. Good morning, Mildred Morris. Grand Rising, Mildred. Good. Okay. This time he favored me last night. God is good, to God be the glory. Or you're speaking, the more we give ourselves to God, the devil tried to move. And that's you know what? That's what he do. That's what he do. My I'm not gonna fight with Satan. It says we do not fight against flesh and blood, but principalities in high places. And oh, okay. I just got a text. Oh wow, I'm sorry I missed that call. I must be was really asleep. I must be was really asleep. Anyway, I prayed this morning. I prayed for my children and I called their names out, and I petitioned God for each need for each one of them. And I called out my friend's name this morning, and I told God their names, and I told God, and I asked God uh, for protection and strength and blessings upon blessings, and in whatever area in the life they need healing in that. And I prayed for myself. I prayed for my mom. I prayed for my family. I prayed for my YouTube channel. I didn't pray to ask God, oh Lord, let's let it grow, grow, grow. Lord, however it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. But just give me the wisdom and the understanding to continue to do the things and to say the things that I'm saying and be truthful in the things that I'm saying. I am willing to do, Lord, now what I need to do, whatever it is I need to do to get this channel to be where it is that you need it to be. I am open, I am willing, and I excel. I excel. So whatever God has for me, it truly is going to be for me. And I'm so willing and so ready and to accept it. But I can't accept something when I'm holding on to a lot of things, got both my hands closed and nothing can get in them. I'm holding on to things that I should not even be holding on to, that is not any earthly good, ain't doing me no earthly good at all. It's just keeping me in a like tense situation, keep me all discombobulated, don't know if I'm coming, don't know if I'm going, half of the time. And I don't like to be like that. So when I talk to people, I always like to know, how are you feeling? How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling mentally? And I ain't talking, when I ask that, I want to know how you are feeling and how you feel. If do you like feeling all nervous in the inside and tense, like you're just living in a tense life, pretending that everything is okay, and the worry and the doubt, and yeah, you're scared, but you try to pretend like, oh, nothing, what's up, hey girl, you're doing all of that fakery and stuff like that. And when you release it, when you surrender, when you face it yourself, and if you like feeling like that, then stay like that. Stay like that. However, if you don't like feeling like that, you're the one in charge. You're the one in charge. You can either hold on to it or you can cast it. Because that's what the word says. Say, cast your cares. When you casting something, you throwing out. You're throwing it away. You're just throwing it out, away from you. And then you bring everything you feel, you bring that into submission. Your thoughts, your imaginary thoughts, the thoughts that you know what the thoughts are, when we in our heads and we're rationalizing and we're strategizing. And if she say this, I'm gonna say this, and if he do this, I'm gonna do this, and then this what's gonna happen, and then that's what's gonna happen. You're practicing, rehearsing the things that you're going to say in your head when you see that person. And if they say something smart, I'm gonna slap them straight dead in their mouth. My word and my thing was in my head, and sometimes it will come to fruition. Say something I don't like, and I'm gonna just hit you right in your throat. I'm gonna throat punch you. And one day I was saying that, and I said it so much in Sunday school and Bible study. The pastor said, "Marita, do you understand? You always say no." Bernard, one of the one of the members said, "Sister Marita, you always say about punching somebody in the throat." I say that's the logical place to punch him at. For me, it's just the easiest place to punch somebody at because I'm tired of hearing you talk. So if I hit you in the throat, you ain't gonna talk for a while. Then you have to be careful. Then I had to say, you know, you got to be careful with that because you can hit somebody in the throat and do some real harm and stuff like that. So I had to start thinking about that because they start saying, well, we already know if you say something to Sister Aretha, she'll throat punch you, and and literally I would, because I don't like a lot of noise, and I don't like people talking after you just said what you got to say. Why you keep talking? I don't like that. I don't like to be talked to sometimes, especially like you think you coming at me. I'm a grown ass woman. What I look like? You reprimanding me. That's how I be thinking sometimes. Then I be saying this and Lord, please forgive me please forgive me for that. Then I have to rephrase it. I'm an adult. When you get off that you can talk to me like that. But sometimes I have to seem like I have to be in the world. And I don't have to be in the world. I don't have to say the things that the world is saying or do the things that the world is doing to get a point across. All I have to do is just be obedient to God. That's all I have. And I had this thought this morning, that thing just was on me. It was just on me because I had not worried about it Monday. I just got the news of it Monday. Wasn't worried about it. But then I kept thinking about it and thinking about it, and then start saying, okay, now like really, what am I gonna do? Really, what am I gonna do? And see, like when I go to the bathroom, that's when I start thinking about all kind of stuff. And sometimes that's where I'm always saying, okay, I done thought about it. Pretty much stressed on it for about 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most, an hour at least. Now, okay, Lord, what am I going to do? Deliver me from this. What am I going to do? And now I'm seeking the peace from God because I feel peace with God that I can even take it to Him. He already know, but I'm taking it to Him to express how I feel. And I speak, but how you feel? If you like being all worried in the inside and stressed out, hang on to it. Hang on in there, baby. Hang on with it. Keep your hands tight so you can hold on to that. However, if you don't like the way that you're feeling about a thing or a situation, do you love that more? Do you want that more? Do you want the peace of letting go? The peace of letting go, not constantly thinking about it, not constantly stressing about it. And then it get to a point I'm not thinking about it anymore, nor am I stressing about it because, it's working itself out. It's not working itself out. God is working it out. God then already worked it out. We just got to walk in what God has worked out and walk in it with assuredness, even when we don't see it physically, even when we do not see it physically, we got to look past what it is that we're seeing. And we got to keep hope in what we're believing. Whatever I have asked God for, for real, and even in my subconscious mind, I'm saying for real, I'm believing God this time because I feel like now, um, my birthdays are not going backwards. My birthdays constantly every year is going forward. I'm a year older. I'm a day older. I'm a minute older. And I find being older gives you seem like old, not when people start getting older, they they just, it's just a matter of fact. They just say what's real and what's right, you know, and they don't have no filter sometimes on what they say. You know, Pastor was telling us about his mother-in-law, and how older people just say what is real, just say it. Don't have no filter. They just put it out there. And that's sometimes how we have to do with our problems and our situations. Sometimes we just have to, we just have to put it on out there. We have to face it. And then when we face it, that's why I say sometimes you have to reflect on things, and whatever God is it's not whatever God feel like God is revealing something to you. And I've always said everything that is going to be revealed has been revealed in the book of Revelations. God is just shining the light on some areas. Maybe you have asked God, you've examined yourself and said, God, Lord, let me see me. And God is letting you see you, and you're not quite understanding why you're feeling a way, or you, and sometimes in your mind, you could see things. You could really, I'm just going to say me, because I don't know about nobody else. When I don't pray to ask God for something, just keeping it real, for real, for real, I be seeing in my head, because God is just something that keep bothering my spirit about what I need to do, and how I should approach what it is and how I should approach it. And I be saying, well, Lord, I I don't want to be sounding like, just like, okay, the way I sound sometimes when I don't like needing help from anybody. I really don't like needing help from anybody. I don't like asking anyone for anything, because I have asked for things and I have said, I have gotten the answer no, when I knew that the person can help me. I knew that the person could help me, but the person lied or just didn't want to do it. So I just stopped asking anybody for help. And if I ever ask anybody for anything, is something that I need. I'm at my wits end. And you could have been the first person I thought about, but I went through other ways and other channels to do what I had to do, simply because I didn't want to ask anybody for anything. Just do it the way I can do it. Sometimes it worked out, and most of the time it did work out, but it wasn't for my good, simply because I didn't want. I hold on to not. I hold on to what happened a while back in my life, and when people tell me no, I don't like to be told no. I don't like to be told no. So I don't reach out to people. And God had to change that in me as well, because we not here on this planet Earth alone, and we wasn't put here to be alone. And if we were meant to be alone, all of us would have our own little island somewhere, and God just didn't put me to be. He had to deal with me on that, and He is still dealing with me on that by reaching out to, He'll put a person in my way, and I still won't. Mm-mm. And when I finally do ask, it's just at that moment right then I really need it, when I'm asking anybody for anything. And it's really hard for me to do that. But however, I said God is dealing with me with that. I got to give up some of those selfish ways that I have to obtain the things that I've prayed and asked God for. The reward of letting go, and the reward of letting go is just knowing that your prayer is going to be answered, that prayer that is being hindered, it's not being hindered by God, it's being hindered by me, by not surrendering my will over to His will, by not trusting that He know better for me than I know what's for me, and then being obedient, and being obedient, trusting God enough, being obedient enough is trusting God, and knowing that God is going to do exactly what He said He was going to do. and do, never leave me going through this storm. I can't go through this by myself. So he done said, girl, I'm here. I ain't gonna leave you. I'm not gonna forsake you. He'll never leave me and he'll never forsake me. And I gotta be obedient enough to believe and trust that he is gonna do just what he said he was gonna do. So sometimes we have to make it easy on ourselves. We fight against ourselves on so many things. When it's easy, yes and no, maybe, sometimes maybe get us stuck. And for me, maybe it's just saying, like, okay, be still, and just maybe, you get the answer that you need when you just be still. And being still meaning not doing something. It means just don't continue to do what you're doing, because it's not getting you anywhere. Be still with it. Be still, pause. Just pause. Be still. Reflect. Release. Revive and relax. It's going to work out in your favor, and glory be to God. And all the glory belongs to God. That's right, Mildred. Let your quests be made unknown to God. You have to you got to, when you go to God in prayer and conversation, however you would like it, there's some things that, some people say, I tell my best friend everything. I don't. I don't tell everybody. I don't tell anybody everything. There's some things that I would carry with me to the end of my life. And nobody will know about it but me and God and whoever it was done with, or whatever was done. Nobody will know about it but me. That would be between me and God. But nobody know everything, and but God. So this morning I had to kind of work that thing out. I had to, and I feel the better for it. I feel the better for it, and I'm praying and hoping, like I said, that the weather will hold up, because I need to do this. I got to get this done. So I hope the weather, it just become a little drizzle. My prayer and my hope that it just becomes a little drizzle. So whatever you're holding on to, whatever you hold it on to, good morning, Lady B. Whatever anybody is holding on to, you have to let it go. You got to let it go. Just have to look at it this way. If I don't let go of this, close your hands. If you have to do that, close your hands and say, if I do not open my hands, I can't get nothing. I cannot get I can't get nothing done if I don't, open my hands and let go what's inside. I can't get anything. The prayer that you have been praying, and you thinking, oh, God ain't gonna do it, or God taking too long to do it. Ask yourself, what is it that's stopping your prayer? What is it that's hindering your prayer? What is it that has your prayer on pause? What is it? What are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you holding on to? You to ask God for it. The prayer and the blessing is waiting. The blessing is waiting. And sometimes we just hold on to things, and we constantly praying. And then we say, after a while, you're holding on things so tight, the prayer be bouncing all around in the room. Just be bouncing, just hitting the ceiling and then hitting the wall and hitting the floor and bounce back up. We can't be double minded when we pray and asking God for stuff. We got to come to him boldly. We got to come to him boldly, but humbly, not telling him, asking him, asking him. And I ask God for deliverance this morning. Deliver me, deliver me. So it is, so I can do what it is that I need to get done. So the word for today, for for the rest of the week, let it go. Just let it go and just remember the rewards of letting go. The rewards of letting something go is being blessed, getting those blessings that was hindered. And when God bless you, oh, your body is just something about your body. It just relax. That's a reward of letting go. Just relaxing, just relax it. And then when you reflect back on it, when you look back on it, you ask yourself, why didn't I do this in the beginning? Why did it take me so long to do this? And you know what? Whatever you're going through, you have the answer. We be having the answer ourselves, but we want to hear other people's opinions. Well, what you think? You telling people what's going on, and you want to hear what they have to say about it. And then sometimes we form our opinion about what people say. If people tell us we are right, then okay, we believe we are right. And when we're not all right, stop taking it to everybody. Take it to God. Take it to God in prayer. Write it down on a piece of paper and read it out loud. And most of the time, you already know the answer. You already know what it is you need to do. You already know what it is you need to do. And you didn't already talk to God, but then you go out there and talk to other people about it. And so my pastor had told us one time, he said, you know what? He said, when people come and make a meeting to talk with me, he said, the first thing I do is I ask them, who else have you told this to? And if they tell me who else they told that to, he do not want to take a meeting. He said, because it's something, if it comes out, I'm the last person that you told, and you're gonna think that I said it. So whatever you have, you take it to the Lord. If you got if you're in a church and you got a pastor, and your pastor is supposed to guide you and pray with you and get you back on the right path and stuff like that with whatever is going on. Take it to God first. Take it to God, and whatever God give you and you don't understand, take it to your pastor. And then when you talk to your pastor and you don't talk to God, don't talk to nobody else about it, because you're going to get so everybody you ask got to have their own opinion about what you need to do, how you should do it. If it was me, this is how I would do it. And then you don't even now you all discombobulated because you're trying to figure out how you're going to do everything all these opinions told you to do, when you know exactly what God has told you to do. And I listen to people when I'm talking to them. I like to listen to people, and I hear what they're not saying. And then I ask questions. How come and why? I don't say, well, why don't you do this? And this what you should do. I never tell people that. I never really get, well, girl, I can't say what I would do because I'm not in the situation. We could easily say, well, if it was me, girl, I just walk away. I do this and I do that. And I can't tell you that because I'm not in that position. I'm not going through what you're going through. So I can be on the outside and say, this is what happened. But on the inside, I don't know what I am going to do. That's why I listen to people when they're talking. And then I let them know, look, if you like the way you feel, then you just keep on doing what you're doing. Hold on to that. Hold on to that. Don't let it go. Hold on. My mama have a saying, let go and let God. And for a long time, I did not understand that. And I think one of the sororities here was doing a calendar about the women in the community and stuff like that. And at that time, my mom, she was into African fashion. She used to sell authentic African garments and authentic African fabric, the mud cloth, the kente, and all those different cloths. She used to. She had a friend that was a wholesaler over in Nigeria, to be exact. In Senegal, they would send her. They would border with each other. um, she had this big basket, and one of her the people that she was buying from in synagogue came and said, "Oh, I like that basket." So that's how they would trade, like with items and mostly with money, but with items. And he said, "Oh, I need a big basket like that, but you live in Africa, you could get it." But he wanted that basket, so my mom gave him that basket. He gave my mom some mud cloths, some um all that printed African real native African fabric and stuff like that. So she was into all of that kind of stuff. And she became a prominent woman, I guess. And she was on this calendar, and everybody had to say, my mom is Muslim. So, but her quote has always been, let go and let God. And I never understood that. And I would say, I would read that, let go and let God. And I would hear people say, let go and let God. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, let go and let God. And I asked my mom about it. Finally, I asked my mom, I said, what that mean by let go and let God? She said, when you let it go and you let God do what he wants to do, you'll get the right outcome. You'll get the best outcome. And so that's became one of my things to just let it go and let God. Don't dwell on it. I can't, you know, my children, my daughter especially tell me, everybody's not like you, mama. They can't get over things right away, because you could get over things. Everybody ain't built like that. And, and I don't expect people to be built like that, built like me, but it's just I cannot, my attention span is not that great. My patience is very short. I can't constantly dwell on something. I'm gonna get angry with myself, and I'm gonna get angrier with that person or that situation. So I have learned to let go and let God. That's why I say I don't give a situation but 72 hours. And I have 72 hours to let it go, to let God and walk in the ways of God to get that blessing that is in that corner, that's in my reach. If I let go of what I'm holding, that just keeping me from the goodness of life, and from the goodness of what God have for me. So I don't give things but 72 hours. I'm telling you, 72 hours. That's all I give myself, to dwell on something, to feel bad about something, to cry about, to hurt about. After those 72 hours are over, I'm not just dwelling on it. I'm praying. There's a war going on within me. Like I'm praying, I'm really praying. But I want to be mad. I want to be upset. I want to be angry. I want to be hurt. However, that feeling, I don't want that feeling that goes along with all that negativity. I don't want the feeling. So, not wanting the feeling, I got to let go of what the negativity is. So that's the war of letting go. You just let it go. I just let it go. I'm not finna be worrying about it no more, stressing about it, thinking about it, talking about it. Because the more I talk about it and rehash it, the angrier I'm gonna get. That messes up your skin. That put wrinkles in your face, because your face all turned up, and it could get that way permanently, because that's your permanent state of being. And I don't, I ain't the prettiest and I just damn sure ain't the ugliest. And I just want to keep my natural glow and the natural flow of things. So the reward of letting it go, that you'll stop being discombobulated. You'll stop being unhappy. You'll stop not having peace. So the reward is having peace that flows like a river, ever flowing, ever flowing. You have that calmness about yourself. And then you can remember if anything else come along to just try to disturb that peace, you remember the reward of letting it go. You remember let go and let God. You remember to, cast out, cast out, those feelings. Cast those feelings out, bring them under and bring your thoughts under captivity. Be obedient, you know, um, just surrendering to God and trusting in God. And you know what? Everything, not saying you ain't gonna have trials and tribulations. I will be telling you a lie. But one thing I can tell you, and two things for sure. God ain't gonna never take you through nothing that He ain't gonna bring you out of. God is not a man, so He ain't gonna lie to you. When He say He gonna be there with you, sometime it might not feel like it because we so focused on what we're going through, and we're trying to figure out how we're gonna get through it and what we're gonna do to get through it. However, if we keep our focus on God and not on that problem, not on that situation, what I'm saying to y'all, I'm saying it more so for myself. Cause you know what? I'm believing. I'm believing God and I'm taking God at His word. Because I don't want to feel sad. I don't want to feel scared. I don't want to feel lost. I don't want to feel like there is no hope. So the opposite of that is I'm going to believe. I'm going to believe what God says. I'm going to believe there is an alternative. I am going to believe that God has already made the way. I am going to believe that God is going to do exactly what He said. The way He's going to do it, I have not a clue. I have not a clue, but I'm going to be obedient enough. I'm going to be naive enough to believe God. I'm going to believe God. I'm going to be naive enough to trust in God. Because, I have been naive enough to believe in what people say, what a man say, what my friends done said. I was naive and stupid to believe all of that. So I'm going to be naive and stupid enough to believe that God just going to do it just because He say He going to do it for my good and His glory. I'm just gonna be so dumb to believe that God is going to do just what He said He's gonna do. And the way He's gonna do it is gonna be the way that, from my attitude, giving it up, surrendering it, casting it out, and bringing those thoughts under submission. And just for the day, whatever you got, whatever you're holding on to, just for the day. Just, I can't ask you about yesterday because it's gone and they ain't coming back. I can't tell you about and just do it tomorrow. We got the day. We living in the present, the right now, the here and now. You know, tomorrow is some hours and tomorrow is hours away. So let's focus on today, just for today. Whatever you're holding on to today, be bold enough, but humble enough to just let it go. But you know what? First, think about, okay, if it's doing you some good to hold on to it, but you don't pray to ask God about it, forget that prayer and just hold on to it. Forget that whatever prayer you don't ask God for and you still holding on to it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just keep on holding on to it. And if you're benefiting from holding on to it, that's good. That's good. You don't need God help. You don't need a word from God. You don't need help from God. However you're feeling about it, and if you like how you're feeling about it, then you keep continuing doing the things that you're doing. And if that means holding on to it, you hold on to it. But then if you're feeling kind of iffy, if you start saying, well, if, if you're feeling iffy about it, and you're not feeling sure about it, and it's not really working, but you're not sure, you want to let it go. It just might. If I hold on a little bit longer, it just might. How about this? If you hold on a little longer, you're going to keep getting the same results. If nothing change, nothing changes. That was another thing I learned in rehab. If nothing change, nothing changes. If you keep doing the same thing, you're gonna keep getting the same results. If you keep hitting your uh if you keep bumping your head up against the wall, you're gonna keep getting that same that not gonna get bigger, and it's gonna keep hurting, and it's gonna keep hurting, and it's gonna keep hurting until you're gonna do some damage to your head from keep on hitting your head in that same spot all the time. And it's up to you. And I just say just for today. Just for today. Just for today. Let it go. Yeah, you'll see the rewards of letting go. I tell you, it is absolutely a beautiful morning. Looking at this wonder, it is absolutely a beautiful morning. You can see the greenery. Everything is so vivid. It is such a beautiful day. And I know if I was living up north somewhere, I can see the foliage turning green, turning from green to orange to gold. And that is such a beautiful sight to see the 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 turning of the leaves, seeing fall come in. I just this is the beginning of the best part of the year for me. I love the fall and I love the winter. It's just something about the winter that does something to my skin, just make it all radiant and pretty. And fall just give me the free. Feel like I'm free when fall comes because I can wear, can pull out the sweaters every now and then, or just could dress so comfortably. You could be outside and go for a walk in the morning. You go for a walk in the afternoon, and it gets a little chilly at night. And it's just beautiful. The fall is so beautiful. Just see things different and um, feel different about things. So, y'all, that's what I got for today. Letting go and letting God, taking charge, taking charge of letting go of the things that don't mean you no good. And they don't mean you no good and they ain't no good. And just constantly trying to hold on to them for no reason other than just being selfish about it. So it's up to you. It's up to you. It's your choice to let go and let God or to just hang on in there and see how it's going to work out for you. That's all I got today. Just like I said, I was helping me more so than anything else. I just had to speak what I know and feel that I have to do and what I have chosen to do. The choice is up to you how you want to do it, and prayerfully and hopefully you'll do what's best for you, and really do what's best for you, not what that voice is telling you, but what's really for you. At the end of the day is going to end, and it's how you went through this thing. So hang on in there or let it go and know that God ain't a way, He is the way. Just for the day. Just for today. And as always, be encouraged and be an encourager. Be blessed and be a blessing because you don't know, you may encounter someone today that just might be an angel God put here to see what you was going to do. And it's up to you to get that blessing or to hinder that blessing. So in the meantime, when you see me out there in the streets, holler at me and I'll holler back. Holla! Peace out. Deuces. I'm gone. Y'all had the best day ever.